All right, here we go. So, Mr. Richard, thank you for the time today. Um, it's an honor, of course, having you on here, having you on this recording, and it's a pleasure to be able to present this info to the gents in the group. So we're gonna start off. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. I'll say this: I picked you because, like I said, when I look at your Facebook page, see you got no body fat, something that I can't talk about. I keep fat because it's valuable to me. It keeps me warm. You know,
We gotta get you consistent. We gotta get you consistent too.
yeah, all right, we'll make it happen. Y'all saw it here first. Y'all saw it here first. I'm committed to working with this man to get a six pack. You know what I'm saying? So, so go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, man.
So I'm Richard Jefferson. I'm originally from Jonesville, Louisiana. Actually, I'm from Wiseville. It's a small little town right outside of Jonesville, Louisiana. I'm 27 years old. Came down here to play college football at Louisiana College in 2012, and that's basically my background. That's how I get to Alexandria.
Gotcha. So, you said you went to LC to play football.
Yes, sir.
What position did you play?
I played cornerback and safety. I started off as a cornerback. My senior year, I moved to safety.
Gotcha. So that's no longer like a career path for you to play football. That's no longer.
No, my last game in 2016, I took off a helmet, and I promised God I would never put on another helmet. So that time I sold my motorcycle. I didn't put on another football helmet, and that was it. And I haven't put on another helmet since 2016.
Why did you choose to get out of football?
So I got hurt my senior year. I had a compartment syndrome. Basically, when the blood flow is lacking, I had nerve damage down my left leg. I had drop foot to where every time I step, it's like I'm stepping over something. So at that moment, sitting on that couch, I just knew that sports wasn't everything, and I had to find something, a plan B. So that's how training started. So when I was sitting on the couch, I was like, man, I want to know more about the body. I want to see how it works. Yeah, it's more to just lifting weights to compete. So I wanted to know more. So that's how I got into it.
So that there is an amazing story, because are you gonna just leave that out? Like,
right.
You have got to come from where you were to, but good. Right. So here's what we'll do. We'll get to that. You'll give me some more detail. So let me do this. Let's get into the questions. For you now at the age of, you said you were 27, right?
Yes, sir.
And you got a lot going on. So what does it mean to you to be a man? For you, in your mind, to be a man?
Well, I guess it started off at a young age, actually, to be a man. My mom had me at 15 years old. My dad left when I was born. So it's like I had to be a man quick. So I always worked, help my mom. I always into sports, but I knew at 15 years old, 20 years old, a mother, like, we don't have everything. Like, so I looked up to my grandfather a lot, and I still do it to this day. He's 62 years old. And he worked every day, 4 o'clock in the morning, go to a prison, deal with prisoners and stuff. So what being a man to me is providing, never taking no for an answer. Do whatever it takes, doing whatever it takes for you, your family, for your loved ones, and just giving it your all day in and day out with no excuses.
I love that. I like how you put it in that order, for yourself, for your family, and for everyone else, because it's something that I have to learn, especially as men. We have to learn we can't help anyone if we're not taking care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how pretty the car is, if the engine ain't running right, you can't get nowhere. And you're the engine in your family in a lot of cases. So I like that. And you had that perspective as a young age. It's important because you had someone to look to, you had that example. So it's important for us to have those examples and be those examples, man.
Yes, sir.
Love that answer. And that's why I ask it, because everybody has a different perspective on it. And I feel the more perspectives we get, we realize that ours is not limited, right? It's not limited because we have other people to look at now. But if you just stay in your little box by yourself, you never get those additional perspectives. So thank you. So we kind of know how you got into fitness. So you kind of got into it because of football, and then you got injured, and then that grew from there. So at this point, tell me, like, after that point in the journey, where you're at now, because that's what I've been observing. Tell me what you got going on.
So after I got injured, and I started going back to this class, I had a business class actually, and the business class was to create a business. I was like, so I looked at my teammate. I was like, man, I don't know what to create. So at the point I was working at Rapides Hospital. I was like, well, I just built a hospital. I'm working at a hospital. I might as well build it. So I turned in my project, and the lady gave me an F. She's like, "This is horrible." I was like, "She's like, redo it. You have until Friday." So my teammate like, right. My teammate asked me like, "What you got?" So I got an F. She told me I got until Friday to redo it, and it was Tuesday. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna build a gym." I said, "I'm gonna build a gym, because that's what I want to do after football." So I built it, and I turned the paper in. She gave me a 98. She's like, "This is amazing." And I was like, and I told him after I got my paper back from her, there's a guy from Mangum, Louisiana. His name Casey Miller. I slid it to Casey, and I was like, Rich Body Fitness would be reality soon. So I graduated in 2017, and I started Rich Body Fitness in 2018. And even to this day, I study it, learn from some of the top trainers in the world. So if you see me on my phone, I'm learning something new. So if I'm on Instagram, I'm learning something new, and I'm just putting my own little twist to it. Like people always ask me, how you do that? Like I found something, and I just put my own little spice to it. And that was some people do as ingredients. Like when they cook, they just put their own little twist to it. So I looked at it like that. Like if I build my own gym, I'm just gonna put my own flavor to it. And that's how I started Rich Body Fitness. So when Rich Body Fitness came, I was like, I also want to be close to the game. I don't want to coach the game. I don't want to be a part of the game, but I want to be close to the game. So I took that. I want to train athletes. So not only non-athlete, I want to train athletes. I was an athlete also. So when I first got my first athlete, I said, I'm going to go all in. Like, I'm going to make this athlete, if he's good, I'm going to make him better. So I took that, and it was, I never forget the guy name. He played at TCU. Now his name Bud Clark. He's from Ash. He went to Ash, and a great player. And I just made him a 1% better. Because if I can make an athlete 1% better, I did my job. I'm not here to make you 100% better. I'm just here to make you 1% better each day. So I took Rich Body Fitness and added Rich Body Fitness and performance training. Rich Body Fitness talked to non-athletes, performance training talking to the athlete. So I have a different perspective of everything now. So people are like, well, do you train non-athletes? Yep, I'm Rich Body Fitness. Do you train athletes? Yes, I'm Rich Body Fitness and performance training.
That's fantastic. I like that. So you need to get that guy, have him join the group, by the way, wherever it is. When any dude you train, I realize most of your clientele is female. Is that correct? Like majority. Right. So we speaking to ourselves now, guys. We need to do better. We need to go get it. So that's an amazing story, like that transition from. Imagine that. I always tell people success is failure. You fail until you succeed. Because what if you got that F when you were like, then I guess this business thing ain't for me? Where would you be today?
Actually, right? I fell twice. When I first started, I started off in the 10 by 30 storage building. When I first started, then a gym didn't like what I was doing. I was getting some of their clients, and they called the fire marshal on me. The fire marshal shut me down. So I was like, dang. And I started back training under Ash bleachers. I started training under Ash bleachers. A guy named William Mattis heard my story, and he invited me to his warehouse. So I'm rolling. I get a bigger gym. Then something happened. The owner kicks me out. He kicks me out. So I'm back under Ash bleachers. Then Mr. Richard Kyle, he let me know that he had a building that was available, and I knew the previous trainer that was up in there, and that's how I got this spot now. And with me and Richard Kyle have an agreement that we're gonna keep this thing going. So I have failed, and I have learned from my failures, and I'm still learning. And that's one thing that a senior, when I first stepped on campus, told me. He like, always be open to learn. So now I'll never forget it. He's a big brother to me, Richard Calhoun. He just built a great college in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So that's one thing I took from him. Even as a young athlete at LC, it's to always be willing to learn.
Awesome. You need to invite him to the group too. We need people
right.
that can inspire growth. So that just goes to what I always say, that failure is fine. It can't be final. You know what I'm saying? So we came from getting a no to trying and failing. So what kept you going? What was your why? Why did you keep trying if those things didn't work twice? Why did you keep going?
What keeps me going is my mom still works 5 to 5.
All right, stop. That's enough. You want to make me cry. Just stop.
My mom works in Pollock at Hunts Plywood. And if it's cold, she works. If it's hot, she works. If it's raining, she works. And my goal was always to retire. She's 45 years old, I think, if I'm doing my math right. And she wake up and drive an hour from Jonesville to Pollock every day. My grandpa, 60-something years old, still wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning and works until 5. Gets all, do your work. So I'm the oldest on both sides of my mom and dad's side, of 4 kids on my mom's side and 4 kids on my dad's side. And I'm the oldest out of 35 grandkids. So I just looked at it like, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than
Wow.
me. Then adding to that, after being known around Alexandria, when I started training these athletes, it's just not, I train you for 30 or an hour, then you leave out the gym. I want to know how your grades are. Like, let me tell you, because I done went through the recruiting process, and me and my athletes, we build relationships. Like, even
Wow, that's big.
I went to Fear to High School. Fear to High School played Ash last Friday, but I also have Ash kids. Coach Rich, you come to the game? Yes, I'm gonna be there. I ain't gonna miss it. And I done train athletes from all schools, and they understand, like, after I finish training you, that's not it. Like, if you need anything, I'm still here. So not only I have sisters, brothers, little cousins that look up to me, I also have these guys and these younger females that look up to me also. So I have to keep going. I have to stay consistent. If I can stay consistent, they see me staying consistent. They be like, well, some got to break if I just stay consistent.
I love that, bro. So you started off, the minute you said, I asked you, what's your why? And you say, my mom works all day. I knew what it was. I knew where we were headed. And that's inspiring to me. This is kind of why I want to keep doing what I'm doing here. This is inspiring to no end. And as you kept talking, the story kept growing. Because if you think about it, your granddad influenced you, and now you're in a position to influence 34 other people in that family line.
Right,
so
right.
You're on track to change an entire family tree. And what, like you said, what you do is bigger than you. And a big part of that is building relationships. Building relationships is what I feel is missing a lot, especially among men. We don't take the time to talk to one another enough, to feed off one another. Like, you just got me excited, right? Like, I'm excited about it, going and build relationships with other people. Like I said, I'm about to go to lunch. Even if I was trying to eat, I had a smoothie for breakfast, but I'm going to lunch with the church, right? I'm probably going to eat something bad, but to me, we're going to go build relationships so that we have to be able to feed off one another. The whole mentality of we telling each other, I'm good, but we know we're not good mentally.
Right.
We're not good emotionally. We got to be open enough and vulnerable enough. The only way that happens is when you build them relationships. So with those kids, some of them don't even have those relationships at home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you provide that support, that system that reduces catastrophic failure, because there's catastrophic failure you can't come back from, but there's failure you have to learn from. So I appreciate that. That's amazing, bro. What has been your biggest challenge? As the next one, what has been your biggest challenge in the whole thing? You would say, just as a challenge for you, owning a business, being consistent, all that kind of thing. What has been the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is when adversity strikes. What happens? What happened when adversity strikes? And that's why I have to tell myself, even after the first time I got put out my gym, like, when I had to shut down, I took everything out the storage building. I just cried. I cried right beside the storage building, and I was like, "What this gonna do? Like, what you gonna do? Just cry all the time? Like, what you gonna do? Because at the end of the day, these kids still need your help. So what you gonna do?" So I gathered myself together. I was like, "Well, we'll go to parks until we find something else. We'll go to a park." And that's basically that's the biggest challenge. Even now, like, I'm rolling through January to March, April, May. But when August, September, October come, it's like people are not as dedicated, but I can't give up. I gotta still keep promoting myself. I gotta go back to still be consistent and let them understand, like, your summer body is built in the winter. So just adversity. Like, that was my biggest chance.
Cool. I like that. But being, like you say, being persistent and knowing that the current situation is smaller than the goal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you say, you got to be consistent. Like you say, summertime come around and holiday time come around, people want to eat
Right.
I want to drink my eggnog, coach. Can I run an extra mile so I can drink a cup of eggnog? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's Christmas. Can I eat some ham and do 10 more push-ups? So I got you. But I like that how you say when adversity comes up, you got to push through that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So thank you. I appreciate it. So as a man, and I know that you've been in fitness, what would be your most important advice to us as men when it comes to fitness? Like, what would you recommend? If we say we want to get fit, what would you say start with? What would we do? What do you recommend?
The first thing with anything, not just fitness, just have a mindset that you're gonna do it. Have a mindset that you're gonna do it, and I'm bringing having the mindset, staying consistent, and even when you don't see the results, just keep going. Even when you don't see it. Like one of my favorite quotes is about Usain Bolt, and he was like he trained for 4 years just to run 10 seconds, and some people train for 3 months and quit because they don't see results. But keep going when you don't see it, because sometimes when we jump into this fitness world, we want to see results right now, like right now. But I tell people, you didn't gain that weight in 3 months. You didn't gain it in 2 years. Like, you overate over time. So how about you stay consistent over time to see what happens? So the best thing is just stay consistent, and even when you don't see it, somebody else probably see it.
This is true. This is true. So 2 things I take away from that. I like that, the remaining consistent even when you don't see the result. I remember reading in a book about this type of bamboo. It takes 5 years to grow. So this man plants the bamboo. He's watering it every day for 5 years, and his neighbors are talking and laughing at him like, "What is he watering? He's been watering that for 5 years. Where is it at?" And then it grows like 20 feet in less than 2 months. So in less than 2 months, the man has 20-foot bamboo in his yard. They're like, "Oh," right after 5 years.
That's
They're gonna be like, "You're lucky." So this stuff just grew here. And the book was basically alluding to the fact that a lot of the work that you do in private, when you get rewarded in public, people are like, "Man, you were so lucky."
Right.
So he was like, "Yeah, most lucky people become an overnight success after 20 years of hard work."
Exactly.
Overnight. So I understand that. That's great. That's great advice. In anything would be to be consistent, get a mindset and stay consistent, even if you don't see the result. I love that. And the second thing was the Usain Bolt thing. You know, that's my boy, Usain Bolt, because I'm from the island. Just so you know, so when Usain Bolt runs, he runs for the whole island, not just
Right.
my boy, right? So with that said, where can we find you? Where can people contact you? Website, Facebook page, what do you got? Let us know.
You can contact me through my Facebook page. I'm Richard Jefferson Jr. on Facebook. My number is 318-308-6043, and that's 318-308-6043. I'm always here at the gym. My gym address is 1521 McGinnis Street. I'm right here beside Gerber Collision. I train Monday through Friday. I'll be here until like 7:30. So that's when you can find me.
Cool. And I do realize, again, me being nosy on Facebook is how I go find the people that are inspiring to me. I see that you recently got, was it your real estate license, or did you complete the
Yeah, I started real estate, yeah.
So you get into that too. So it becomes some people say it's like tattoos. You open one business, you got to open another one. It just happens, right? It's like you got one, I want some more.
Yeah,
so,
you got to keep going.
You got to keep going. Let me congratulate you on that, because I know that's a big deal. So you keep that up, man. You are going to be an amazing person in society that kids have to look up to. Other people around you can get inspired by you. It's a servant mentality, like you say. It's a servant mentality. I got this revelation one time. The revelation said to me, "You are a servant to people. That's why you're made." It revealed to me that my face wasn't for me. I'm like, my face is not for me, but it's my face. I want it to look pretty. Like, you don't get to look at your face 90% of the day. Imagine a smile could change somebody's life in a day because they see you smile. They see you in a bad situation, which is worse than theirs, and you're able to smile and you can change your life. That's why your face is not even for you. It's to serve other people, and that's what we do for one another. And that's what I see you doing. It's what inspires me about you, and I hope it inspires some of the people that watches the podcast or whatever this is. I don't even know what to call it yet. Whoever watches it, I hope it inspires y'all in some way. Rich, I appreciate you, my man, and we'll be in touch.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
It was a pleasure, my man. Have a good day. You stay safe out there. Keep it up.
You too.
All right.